We welcome in Gary Washburn of the Boston Globe. Now, a 22-team proposal, 13 from the West, 9 from the East. How did they get to that number?
Well, they wanted to have an opportunity for teams who were close to a playoff berth have a shot. So to do 16 would have left, obviously, some teams who were kind of chasing a playoff spot. In the East, the Washington Wizards, they're 5.5 games back. I'm a little surprised they got in, but I think they had to let a team in from the East. They just couldn't do it all West. And then obviously in the West, you got San Antonio, Portland, Phoenix, Sacramento, teams that are chasing Memphis and New Orleans for that final playoff spot. They're 3.5, 4 games back. So you give them a chance to chase that spot as opposed to just naming Memphis the 8th seed and going straight to the playoffs. So I think that's how they came up with the 22. And they also want to give more teams a chance to play for revenue purposes, for fan interest purposes, as opposed to leaving half the league at home and not having them play for 9 months or 10 months or however months when the season starts next year. So I think this is what they wanted to do. They wanted to have some teams. They wanted to have some parity. They wanted to give the teams chasing the playoff spot a chance, although it's not a great chance, a chance to get that slot.
There have been talks of other proposals, though, so how likely is it that this one will get the green light?
I think it's as fair as it's going to get. I think that there were some owners who wanted only 16 teams and others who wanted all 30. This is pretty much right in the middle at 22, so I think this will pass. It has to have a 75% vote. I don't think it'll be unanimous, but I think there'll be enough owners to say, listen, this is the best we can do in this situation. I don't think that anyone's going to be complaining about getting, the short end of the stick here, considering the circumstances, considering the pandemic, what this world is going through right now. I think everyone's going to keep their mouth shut and just be glad that an NBA season is resuming.
So if this one passes, 8 regular season games and a potential play-in tournament to determine the playoff field, what kind of possibilities are there for the Celtics to get themselves in a better position?
Well, they have to do some work to get that second seed. They're a couple of games behind the Toronto Raptors. If they play the 8 regular season games, it all depends. Is Toronto on that final 8 games? We'll have to see the schedules. And maybe they could pick up a game there. They had one more game left against the Raptors when the regular season was suspended, and which was going to be a huge game for them. That was coming up. So let's see if Toronto's on the schedule. If not, you just stay at number 3, and you hope that a healthy Philadelphia team now, because Ben Simmons now should be healthy. He had some back issues when the season was suspended. So hopefully 3.5 months off is giving him time to heal, and the Sixers can maybe grab that 4th or 5th seed. I don't think the Celtics want to see Philadelphia in the first round. I'm just taking a wild chance here and saying that they'd rather play Indiana or Miami. I think they match up better with both those teams. But I think in terms of seeding, the Celtics are pretty much probably going to stay at 3, and they're just going to hope that Philadelphia plays its way into that 4th or 5th slot.
Okay, so what's the plan for the Celtics in the immediate future leading up to that July 31st start date down in Orlando if this one gets the green light from everyone involved?
Well, they're going to have to wait for dates to come out of when they can have a full practice, when coaches will be allowed. Right now, players individually are allowed into the Auerbach Center in Brighton to work out. Now, who knows when they have to be in Orlando? If the first game is, let's say, is July 31st, will teams be mandated to be down there July 20th? We don't know these details yet, but for now, individual workouts, then practices will be cleared with coaches, then a training camp type of situation where they might even do 2-a-days. Then the team will travel to Orlando, practice more, prepare for that July 31st re-season opener.
So many moving parts. Gary, thank you for sharing your thoughts with us tonight. We appreciate the time.
Thank you.
All righty, go ahead and take a look at the updated NBA championship odds with those 22 teams. Lakers, the favorite at 5-2 odds. Bucks, Clippers right behind them, 3-1. Then right after those two, that's where we see the C's tied with the Rockets at 16-1 odds. The reigning champs, the Raptors, tied with the Sixers at 20-1 odds.